Well, hey, it's Kelly. I wanted today to talk about kind of a recent mental health issue that I dealt with. Um, as I said last time, I had transitioned December 16th of 2022. Um, it was in August of 22 that I finally made the decision that I was going to transition. Um, Prior to that, throughout my life, all the traumas and everything that I dealt with, I kind of was able to subconsciously hide those behind the fact that I'm transgendered. Because I dealt with it every single day, the fact that I was transgender. So everything else kind of subconsciously got hidden behind that fact. And a lot of it, I just kind of forgot about. And the one thing that I have learned is that the subconscious mind never forgets anything. And when the subconscious mind wants something brought forward, it is going to overpower the conscious mind. So, August of 22, I decided I'm going to transition. And over the years, I had considered writing a book, kind of an autobiography, inspirational book. And I thought at the time, okay, well, now's the time to start writing that book. Well, unfortunately, I did not talk to my therapist about it. And I just started writing. That was a huge mistake because now that that wall was, or that that wall was taken down of being transgender. When I started writing, everything came flooding back at one time, and it got really ugly really quick. I know that the first couple of days I was writing frantically, but then it got ugly, and I spent a few days just curled up in a ball in a corner crying uncontrollably, and it just got worse from there. And at the time, I had 14 years sober. I had been clean for a very long time, and unfortunately, I'd been a dry drunk, and a clean, but I've been clean, but I was never in any type of, well, hadn't been in any type of program for a long time. So it was, white knuckling it. And I paid for that dearly because I immediately started drinking very heavily and then started popping pills. And it got ugly really quick. And at the time, I had just made a new friend, and she was amazing. It was a really good friend. And, it just, as time went on, I was drinking more and more and getting, just crazier and doing stupider things. And about, 6 or 7 months into it, um, the suicidal ideations and suicide attempts actually were nonstop, and she knew about it and was getting very, very concerned. Um, I started my spiritual path because of her, and it kind of helped a little bit. And through that, I started attending a meeting. Um, but unfortunately, I was kind of far gone by then, mentally and in my addictions. And I was leaving the meeting and immediately, popping a bottle on my way home, which was not good. Um, at one point, I turned on all the gas in my house and went to bed. Just figured I'll asphyxiate myself. Fortunately, I woke up in the morning with just a severe headache, and it didn't work. And the first thought in my mind was, I'm a failure. I can't even kill myself. That's where I was at in my life, and it was ugly. A couple other attempts. I'd actually planned on offing myself on my birthday. I was going to go to a lake up in Michigan, Lake St. Clair. I have a boat. My intent was to chain myself to the boat, pull the plug, shoot myself in the head, and go down with the boat so that nobody would ever find me. Um, she asked me what I was planning on doing on my birthday, and told her, I'm going up to Lake St. Clair, going to go for the weekend and just camp out on an island up there and just fish. And And she knew me better and said, yeah, no, you never go anywhere on your own on stuff like that because you're too safety conscious. What are you really doing? So she knew what I was planning. And so, plans foiled, and it was a good thing because I would have done it. And by this time, I found myself falling in love with her. Um, and again, this was, you know, not good because of the condition I was in. It would not have been good for her, not good for me, not good for anybody. So by the next month, I decided I was going to tell her that I was in love with her, and it blew up. It was ugly. I lost my friend. Um, she knew I was in bad shape, so she contacted me, and she could tell I was extremely depressed, extremely intoxicated. So she gave me an ultimatum to either call the sheriff's department myself, or she was going to get some help. And I blew her off, so she did. So she called the village police department here, very small, only one police officer on duty. So they called the sheriff's department for backup. It was a rude awakening for me because, I get a knock on my door. I actually hid from the police. They were the first to show up. Within a half an hour, it's the police and the sheriff's department, and I knew I was going to have to open the door. They were going to come in. So I did. They forced me to come outside. Well, told me to come outside. They didn't force me. So I was greeted by the sheriff's department face to face with the city police department standing behind him with his taser drawn and up to his chest, not pointed at me. And I knew I was in trouble. They couldn't do anything because I, basically hadn't broken any laws, and I told them I was done drinking. No, I wasn't. So they left. The next day, I started drinking again. I woke up first thing in the morning, started drinking again. My friend tried contacting me, and so in this time, instead of responding, I just didn't do anything. And she figured I was probably drinking again, so she called the sheriff's department again. They showed up. Sure enough, I was drunk, could barely stand up. And the sheriff's deputy gave me an ultimatum that either I do something or the next time they got a phone call that I was going to be taken in to detox. Or for, a mental hold. That was my rock bottom right there. That was definitely my clue that I had to do something. So the next day, I went into work early and made a phone call to the VA and said, I need some help. I'm an alcoholic. I have very bad depression, and I need some help. And fortunately, the VA now takes it very seriously, and they got me in right away and diagnosed with severe depression, severe chronic post-traumatic stress disorder, alcoholism, and drug addiction. I got into treatment right away for post-traumatic stress disorder and depression. Along with it came the alcohol and drug treatment as well. It was rough, but I took it very seriously, and I went through 6 months of pretty intense treatment. The first 3 months were brutal, but again, I took it very seriously, and I opened myself up, and I was raw. I was very honest about everything. And I spent a lot of time in tears. And it was hard. But I'm glad I did because it really helped. My therapists all joke about, that I am the poster child of mental health because I actually did the hard work, did what I was supposed to do, and I'm proof that it actually works if you do the work. It's not hard. It's not easy. It is really hard to do. But I'm glad I did it, because I feel so much better. I'm alive. I love my life. Um, I love myself. I'm glad I did what I did, and through it I learned that it's not about me, I spent 57 years of my own, not 57, but a good portion of my life being selfish, and that's what drug abuse and alcoholism is. It really is selfish. We don't mean it to be, because we're dealing with so much crap in our lives that we turn to that to try to escape it. But in the long run, we end up becoming selfish. And what I've learned is to give that up and give to others of everything I've learned through it. And it's therapy. It really is. Me doing this is therapy. Um, if you guys ever get a chance to, if you guys ever see my Facebook page, I talk. I'm pretty open about my mental health and my issues. And that's therapy for me as well. Because, it's by me talking about everything that I have had to deal with, it helps me. And I hope I help somebody else. That's my goal, is for somebody else to see this, somebody else to see my Facebook page and say, you know what, I need help. That's me. I need help too. Because that's all I want. This isn't about me. It's not about, look at me, how great I am, how much I've recovered. It's about, look at how messed up I was. Maybe you can recognize something in me and you and say, wow, you know what, man, if she was able to do it, I can do it too. Because I'm not great. I'm nothing special. I really am not. I'm just a normal human being who's managed to surround themselves with some pretty damn good people who've helped me and help me help myself. That's what it's really about. And there are people out there that are willing to help you help yourself. I'm one of them. So my only thing is, I implore you to get the help you need. If you're struggling, get help. It's out there. Reach out to friends, reach out to peers, reach out to me. Talk. It's important to talk about what's going on in your life. It's just keeping it all bottled up is just, it's going to kill you. So I went through a rough time, and it took me quite a while to get my life back together. I still deal with bad days. Let's face it, we're always going to have bad days. But the one thing I've learned is that, I have a choice. I can let the negative stuff control my life, or I can let the negative stuff be lessons. And I can let them go. I make mistakes all the time. I really do. I can learn from them and let them go. Or I can dwell on them and make that what my life is about. I choose to just learn from them and let them go. Because I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. We all do. Nobody is perfect. So I'm just going to learn from them, move on, and I'm going to relish all the positive that happens in my life, because there's plenty of it that happens. And the thing is that I've learned is that if I stop focusing on the negative, I see all the positive, and there's a lot. There's a lot of good that happens every single day. I look outside right now, and there's a beautiful sunshine shining down on the melting snow, and it's beautiful. Why not focus on that, instead of the fact that, oh, I just made a faux pas, or I just, spoke improperly. Who gives a crap? Really, who gives a crap? It's a beautiful day out there. It's going to be 50 degrees here in Northwest Ohio in February. How about being happy about that and focusing on that instead of anything negative happen today? It's about perspective. It's about what we choose to focus on. And I get it, man. If you spend most of your life focusing on a negative, and if you've grew up in a household where other people focused on a negative that you did, it's hard to get away from that. But you just got to train yourself to do it. It's that negative self-talk is going to kill you, and I understand it, because for the longest time I used to think, well, if it wasn't for me talking to myself, nobody would freaking listen to me. I'm the only one who listens to me, so I might as well pay attention, but that self-talk is going to kill you, especially if it's negative. Switch it over, make it positive self-talk. I'll have to, do a mobile one time, get on my phone and show you guys my mirror in my bathroom, because there's post-its all over it with positive affirmations. It was funny. I used to have positive affirmations all over the dashboard of my car. And I didn't think about it one day, and I picked up a friend of mine, and they were like, what the heck is this all over your dash? And I'm like, this is embarrassing. But then I thought, you know what? I don't care. You know what? I'm making myself better. Who cares what you think? So I'm like, they're positive affirmations. These are things I have to tell myself every single day to heal myself. You know what? If it works, it works. Who cares what you think? So if you got to do that, do it. Put up post-its. I've accomplished a lot in my life. I am a good person. I am worthy of good things. Do it. If it works, it works. If that's what you need to do, do it. But the biggest thing is, guys, is get some help. If you need help, reach out. I wasted so many years of my life not asking for help. And unfortunately, I did. I did one time, and I got a negative response for it. And, I have to look at the times and what was going on. It was in 2003, or the height of the Gulf Wars. I'm in the military, and I went to the hospital, and, they just started this program where they got these, little dry erase markers on these laminated sheets. And it's like, are you having any mental health issues? And they got these questions. And I put down, yes, I'm feeling suicidal. So I get into the doctor, and he looks at it, and it was a primary care physician, and he said, "Oh, you checked your suicidal?" I said, "Yeah, I've been depressed for a long time, and I'm feeling kind of suicidal." And he goes, "Oh, just suck it up." And I was floored, because I'm thinking, I just talked to a healthcare professional and told him I'm struggling, and I'm feeling suicidal, and his response was, "Suck it up." And at first, I didn't know how to handle it. I was like, well, shit, I guess I'm never going to get any help. This is just the way I have to live my life. And I thought about it afterwards. And I thought, I guess it comes kind of with the military. It's still, there's some out there with that mentality, because I had that mentality at first when I was in the military. When I became a leader, it was like, just suck it up, because that was kind of the thing. You didn't talk about mental health. As the Gulf Wars went on, they started to realize, because of the number of suicides, that this is real deal. We don't play with this stuff anymore. So 2008, I brought it up again, and I was actually then treated and put on medicine for depression, although it wasn't treated all that well. And I retired in 2009. But yeah. So yeah, sometimes you do get a negative response. I don't think so anymore. But speak up. Ask for help if you need to. I implore you to do that. I'm going to cut it short today, and not like I did, 25 minutes last time, but I'm going to keep it short, a little bit shorter today. And again, I'm going to focus a lot on mental health in these talks. If you have any suggestions, anything you want me to talk about, please, let me know. Just know I'm here for you guys. I care. I love you. That's the thing I'm learning in life, is that, just love everybody. That's what it's about. We got to get through this together. We gotta have each other's backs, and we got to encourage each other, and we got to be there for each other, because that's all we got. We got to become family again, and we got to be there and lift each other up. So you guys take care, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.